Hi there, welcome back. You're still watching Prime Morning, and we are here still on News Flash, and we're about to get into a few things that have unfolded in the various newspapers, and then we'll get into our discussion. Now, a few things that we would like to pay attention to has to do with what government has been doing as far as trying to hold former government officials accountable. That is something we're going to spend some time to do. Now, that is what the NPP have described as political witch hunt. Political witch hunt. It is an interesting, presentation by the General Secretary. It was an interesting presentation by the General Secretary yesterday, where he accused the government of using the judiciary and the security services to engage in political witch hunt. But some are questioning the allegation that we're not the very same people who called upon their former government officials to be ready to account for their services and their public service to the country. And that's what even the president, former President Akufo-Addo, in February said to his former appointees. At any point, they should be ready to account for their service. So if they are now being made to account for it, why the allegation that the process that they have been taken through to account for the service is now a political witch hunt. So we'll get into that very shortly. And then also, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, I think that was yesterday, also decided to put out a statement that many found quite worrying, following comments that were made by Mustafa Hamid, the former CEO of NPP, after his time in court. He was just a passing comment where he described his case as useless. The OSP responded to that statement and wrote a whole piece on Facebook, on their pages on social media, reiterating that they have a solid case against him and they are going to pursue it to the fullest. And as part of that piece, they also indicated that they have seized properties worth in excess of 100 million Ghana cedis from the former NPA boss. Now, the former NPA boss lawyers have also written and said the OSP has not seized any property belonging to the former CEO. So they find it very surprising that the OSP captured that in their statement. In fact, it is captured in the last but two paragraphs of their statement, where they said the Office of the prosecutor has already seized and frozen assets valued at more than 100 million and over $100,000 with additional assets under active tracing, he said. He said these actions are based on strong documentary, banking and transactional evidence linking the proceeds to the alleged offenses. That's in the case of Dr. Abdul Hamid, where he's accused of leading a role in grand extortion and laundering scheme that caused the state and petroleum sector losses exceeding 291 million Ghana cedis. He's accused of money laundering, found to be in possession of some 50 million Ghana cedis, an amount disproportionate to his known legitimate income and suspected to be proceeds of crime, and a few other charges that have been leveled against him. So really interesting. Well, we are also trying to reach his lawyer, the former Deputy Attorney General Joseph Pemka, on this, because they have released a statement refuting those claims by the OSP. We'll hear from him very shortly, hopefully, when our lines are able to reach him. Well, in studio with me is Dr. Palgrave. He is a lecturer at UPSA. This morning he's looking very traditional. And again, we do have a lawyer, Jantuah, who is also in studio with us, looking, as usual, in his African best. Counsel, good morning and good to have you.
How are you?
I'm very well. I hope you're well.
I'm breathing. You breathe in the morning, you thank God. If you don't breathe in the morning, you're dead.
How's your week been? Today's Thursday.
Busy. Busy, very busy, very, very busy.
How have you been doing?
Working for GMPC is not an easy thing.
As a board member?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not an easy thing.
Wow.
So much to do. So much to do. We need to get into production, exploration production, latest by 2027. We have to. It's not looking good. So we've got to work hard. Yeah, got to work hard. Look, I always say there are 3 commodities in this country that can easily take care of us if we're going to do it right. Oil and gas, gold and cocoa. Just these 3. All the others will be added value. If we can do this right, add value to cocoa, add value to gold, even oil, add value to oil. The kind of money that will come into this country. Because even now that we are not adding value to oil, the revenues that come in with the kind of blocks that we have which are operating now, only 3, is huge. Can you imagine the entire offshore basin producing plus onshore? Come on. We won't have to go to any IMF or anything.
Interesting.
We just have to focus and do it right. Just come back from Brazil. We went to speak with Petrobras. And when you see what they are doing into the future, their R&D research center alone is half the size of a university here. They have nearly 2,400 PhD qualifiers working in their R&D.
Wow.
Our R&D is a very small department. And I think R&D is something that we are not doing to help this country.
Interesting.
They look into the future. Let me end by saying, they discovered oil in ultra deep. When they did the seismics, they found that there was a bank of salt 5,000 meters deep before you got to the surface of the earth. What did they do? They manufactured the equipment that could drill into that salt into the earth to get the oil, and they did it.
Wow.
Serious.
Well, interesting, because what I was just going to say is that often what we hear relative to Ghana is that we do not have the resource and the expertise to manufacture the equipment like they did. And so we often get into partnership, and sometimes if you look at the partnership we get into, eventually you realize that our stake in this whole process is about 12%, sometimes 13%.
Ours is politics. Let's take the politics out of the parastatals we have. Take the politics out and let them work. Let them work. And if we're able to take the politics out and supervise them strictly, this country is better. The politics is just too much. Look, when you go to Brazil, every citizen is behind their national oil company. And you can't joke with it. If you try it, they'll deal with you. And we've got to be able to do that because we have the resources in terms of product, in terms of hydrocarbons. We have gas and we have oil. We've got to find the best way to make sure that we can get benefit out of it. At this point.
Well, interesting. Doc, good morning. And you're listening in quietly, isn't it?
Good morning, Ms. Bao, and very good morning to your listeners and viewers. And it's good to be here. Thank you for having me again.
How's your week been also?
Well, I've had a very good week. You know, I lecture at UPSA. I've got 12 students that I'm supervising for their final thesis.
Okay.
It's been busy and also campaigning for my candidate, Canadian Japan. He's in the Volta region.
Okay.
We are the leading candidate that has done more constituencies than any of the candidates. By the end of Sunday, we would have done 107 constituencies out of 276. And by the end of Sunday, we would have done 10 regions out of 16 regions. Significantly means that on the 31st of January 2026, Kennedy is going to be declared the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party and the next president of the Republic of Ghana.
Interesting. Well, let's see how. Let me just get into the newspapers very shortly now. And great. Well, great. So interesting. The NPP, of course, have also been speaking extensively about what has been happening to some of their former government appointees. Some of that is captured in the newspapers here. And, well, my producer said we should listen to the General Secretary of the party, Justin Kodia, at the press briefing yesterday. So we can listen to him briefly now on what he had to say.
General Secretary Justin Kudria says what began as isolated acts of political intimidation has now evolved into a calculated campaign of persecution with arrests, selected prosecutions and prolonged detentions designed to cripple the opposition. He warns that despite countless protests and press briefings, the Mahama administration has refused to pull back, leaving Ghana's democracy on what the party calls, quote, life support, unquote.
The party held demonstration and numerous press conferences on matter, reminding President John Mahama and his government that we are a nation of rule of law, and asked the NDC government to put a stop on their continuous weaponization of the state security and the judiciary against political opponents. Unfortunately, all our calls have fallen on deaf ears, but as a party, we shall not back down on our resolve to fight this injustice.
The NPP is further warning that the rule of law itself is under siege. The party says its members continue to be detained beyond lawful limits, slapped with excessive bail conditions, and treated as criminals before trial. Justin Kudria argues that this blatant disregard for the constitution and due process has weaponized the justice system against political opponents, eroding the very freedoms that anchor the republic.
The worrying trend where members of the New Patriotic Party are detained beyond the lawful limit, subjected to unreasonable bail conditions, and effectively denied justice. This practice contravenes Section 96 of the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act at 1960. However, under President John Mahama's administration, a person is rather presumed guilty until the person proves his innocence. And this is a shame to our democracy.
He insists that under President...
Well, so that's the General Secretary of the NPP there. He describes it as a shame. Quite a number of things have happened. Quite a number of former government officials are being investigated in court. So, understandably, it's been a very torrid time for the party. The national chairman in the Ashanti region is in court of Agalamsey. The former CEO of Buffer Stock is also in court. The former National Service Authority boss is, even as we speak, we understand, based on our update, the report we got, is still behind bars because he's still not been able to meet the 800 million Ghana cedis bail. Deputy Executive Director of National Service Authority, Gifty Owari, is also, we understand, as of the last update I got, she had also not met bail, but not too sure if that has been resolved as of now. Well, it's quite, and a lot more investigations are taking place. A lot more. There's the SML contract the OSP is looking into, the 13th All-African Games that the President has ordered a forensic audit into. I mean, number of former government officials are clearly under a lot of heat, and the NPP are not particularly happy about what is happening, and they describe it as political witch hunt. Well, also joining us is lawyer Al Hassan. He's a member of parliament for the good people of Yendi, and he's also joining us now. Honorable, good morning. Good to have you.
Good to have you too, boss. Good morning, and good morning to my seniors here. Good morning to my cherished viewers. Thank you for having me this morning.
How is the constituency doing?
Oh, inshallah, we're doing good. I go back, I think that was on Sunday. Oh. I have been there doing some rounds. It's not, as a new person, I'm not learning the job, but it's so far so good.
So far so good.
Yeah.
Well, I can imagine the pressure it
comes with a lot of pressure, and I always say it, given the magnitude of support and vote we got in the last elections, you can only imagine the kind of pressure that will be on us. It will also be such a humongous portion. But we are, inshallah, up to the task, and then we will deliver by the end of our term.
Well, I'm sure the good people of Yendi are watching this morning, and we'll see how it all unfolds. Well, let's get into it briefly now. And maybe let me just start with you, Honorable. I mean, this is what the NPP are saying about what your government is doing. They say it's political witch hunt. They say the manner, in fact, they speak about the bail conditions they are putting on some of the officials. And they say it's hefty. It's, for instance, the National Service Authority boards 800 million Ghana cedis. And one is wondering, where is he going to get a bill for that?
Well, I think it's as fortunately, NDC doesn't set bill terms. I am even.
So they're accusing you of manipulating the judiciary, the security.
In what way? And so do we say that during the term of NPP, when NDC officials were hauled before the court and some were jailed, NPP were behind it, NPP manipulated it. If this reasoning is anything to go by, then we can equally say that they were behind the jailing of all NDC officials and that they masterminded everything and they influenced the court in that regard. You see, you don't understand where their position is. In one breath, they say that oral has failed. No NPP official is being prosecuted. Oral was all a hawk. Now today, when people are being asked to come and account for their stewardship, now they are saying that there's harassment in the system. People are unduly treated. Now listen, bill terms is a creature of statute. You understand? The Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act, Act 30, has set the requirements, you understand, for bail. So to the extent that, for example, if you look at ASIBI, the amount in issue is about 600 million Ghana cedis. Now at all times, in fact, sometimes bail terms are even set twice the sum in issue. Because there has to be a reason why the person will not run away. Because if the issue is 100 million and you give me a bill term that says 50 million, then I'll run away and then use 50 million to pay for the bill term. The condition, you understand? So the bill amount is always higher than the amount in issue, plus other issues. You understand? So if the person is charged, if the sum in the issue is about 600 million Ghana cedis, you don't expect the bill amount to be less than 600 million Ghana cedis. Else it won't be deterrent enough. In fact, to the extent that even all the time when you go to court, those are the things the judge. So the judge will look at the amount in issue, the government of the charge. You understand? They will look at whether the person has in the past jumped bail. You understand? So whether the person is a man of straw, whether he has anybody to be able to stand surety. A lot of factors are considered. And so these factors are not within the bosom of any political party or any government. It's not the issue. You know, we always say that we have 3 arms of state. You understand? The judiciary, the executive, and then the legislature. And so to the extent that this is limited to one arm, because there's nothing that happens in the court that you can say that it is in the bosom of the executive. No.
I mean, he cites the unprecedented action related to the removal of the Chief Justice, and they look at that and they say, well, now you appear to have some level of influence in the judiciary, and why you can...
And so when they removed the EC chair, and then what we saw in the 2020 elections, do we see that they did that act in order to get through with the 2020 elections? We had made a strong case why we thought the Chief Justice was unfit for the job before the elections. And you see, we made a promise to Ghanaians. And as a government, we will be held accountable. In fact, there are many Ghanaians today who say that if His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama does not do anything in his 4-year term, but succeeds in getting back what has been stolen, we can say allegedly, by the previous actors, they will be more than satisfied. And so we made a pledge, and we told Ghanaians that a lot was that there's so much rot. And so you don't expect us to come and sleep over that job. To the extent that there are even those calling us, that or telling people that we lied, that they had engaged in corruption. And today they go about priding themselves that they were able to jail this person. Daniel Abodekwi, Victor Salome, Kwame Pepra, Eugene Bafuboni, they bandage all these names around. And they are saying that NDC is not even able to jail even one person. And so me, even if you ask me, this approach by Attorney General to sometimes ask for some terms, plea bargain. They should come and sit on the table, and then you find some of this is it's neither here nor there. The public even need the people to be prosecuted. They should be jailed. In fact, that is even what is at the heart of this. The public need these people to go to jail. Because see, sometimes what comes into light is just a fraction of what has been stolen. Because the Attorney General would always want to take a matter that it can prove in court. So sometimes, even if the issue is around 100 million Ghana cedis, they will look at, can we establish or can we prove evidence? Can we provide any evidence to establish this 100 million Ghana? If they can't provide any evidence and the evidence can only cover 20 million, then they bring 20 million to court. Now you bring the person on a charge that is only 20 million. Me or the person in fact has taken about 100 million. Now you're asking him that you can sit on the table and then take the 20 million. And sometimes you even take less than the 20 million. And you let the person off the hook. That does not satisfy the public anger enough.
Well, I'm going to come back to you because the concern they are also raising is that the manner in which you're handling these cases is an attempt to try and, and satisfy a certain public hunger to see something done. At the end of the day, they say, well, the matter is going to travel to the court and the person is still innocent until proven guilty. So after taking the person through all of this and eventually turns out to be innocent, they say already, the person had gone.
What have we done? Mustafa Hamid is standing trial. He's free. He's in his house. You understand?
But even in the case of the Attorney General and how the presentations he does.
It's not out of place. It's not illegal. If it is illegal, they can challenge it in court. It is not illegal. In fact, it is even what is practiced in best jurisdictions. In America, they do it all the time. Before such high-profile cases, in fact, not even high-profile cases, cases that have public attention, usually, you find the public prosecutors briefing the public on what has been unearthed so far and the filing of the case in court and all the processes they are about to do. They do that. It is public knowledge. In fact, in any case you take to court is already in the public domain because whatever happens in court is for public consumption.
Yeah, but the narration, we see how the Attorney General presents.
Okay, what is the difference between putting facts in a charge sheet? Because remember, before you file a charge sheet, we have a page we call the facts. It is mandatory that you add it to the charge sheet, or if you like, the bill of indictment. Now, if you put all the facts there in the charge sheet or the bill of indictment, it is read in court. It is read publicly in court. The judge will require that it is read. The prosecutor reads it. Now, that is already in the public domain. So if it is read in court, and it is in the court, anybody can go and get a copy and publish it. And then the Attorney General decides to take the same facts and comes to read it out to the public. What has changed?
Interesting. Let me bring Doc in now. Doc, you've been listening quietly.
Ms. Bao, I am getting increasingly troubled for the good people of this country. I'm troubled. I am getting increasingly devastated, and I'm getting increasingly scared. It appears as though the John Dramani Mahama NDC-led government has no plan for this country.
Really?
The Ghanaian people voted them to come into office, to govern, to employ, to create jobs, to ensure that the lives and livelihood of the Ghanaian people are safe. Look, as I speak to you today, it's almost 90 days plus, and I tell you every day, we still do not have a substantive minister for defense in this country. The Ghanaian people are aware of that. 90 days, we don't have a substantive minister for defense. This week, the Minister for Interior had a press conference, and he missed an opportunity of updating the Ghanaian people on the security threats that we have had since the 15th of January till date. 2 Ghana Immigration Service officers were on the line of duty. May the soul of AICO2 Rafiq Mohammed rest in peace. He was shot by assailants. The Minister for Interior failed to update the Ghanaian people. We have 48,000 displaced people in Burkina Faso as a result of the Bindiri land fight, which happened on the 22nd of August. The Minister for Interior failed to update us. It appears as though this government has no plan. At the time of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, 6 months into his government, he had implemented the overwhelming free senior high school. Tell me what program that this government has implemented since they began. They have not implemented one single program.
They've started a big push project.
Have they implemented one big program that is a social intervention for the Ghanaian people?
I mean, the free, stress-free fee policy has been implemented.
Look at the number of people that are in the universities compared to those that are not in the universities. So, you see, I don't see the head and tail of what this government is doing. You see, you don't come into governance. Of course, nobody is running away from accountability. Stewardship is important in public service and in leadership. And I've continually stated that in governance, you must be transparent, you must be accountable, and you must be trustworthy. The focus of the John Dramani Mahama NDC-led government on continually attacking a previous government officials, especially when the judiciary has not convicted them of the crime, of the allegations that you put forth, when we are aware that Sedi Nam Tamaklo has gone through the judicial process and is supposed to be serving a jail term of 10 years, of causing financial loss to the Ghanaian people to the tune of 90 million Ghana cedis. I am so surprised that the government would use all the energies in creating overwhelming jobs for the Ghanaian youth. I am so surprised that the government will use all their energies in ensuring that the Ghanaian people have a program that moves their country forward, to want to be following people who have served this country well, who have allegations that have not been proven by evidence substantially enough. But we have an Attorney General, of course, who understands the Ghanaian people, and so does a lot more PR work before it gets to the court system. I don't think we need to run a country like that.
But which part of the process are you unhappy about? Because in the case of specific individuals, they've been sent to court. Bafostoksu has been sent to court. He's been given a chance to respond to the allegations that have been leveled against him in court. The former officials at the National Service Authority have been sent to court. I mean, the former Signal Bureau boss is in court. All these individuals who, former officials of yours have been given a chance in court. So which parts of the process are you not happy about? Is it that they are in court, or, because the due process is being followed?
But the process has not ended. And so the government should focus on governing the Ghanaian people. Put your attention really on the governance process that you promise these Ghanaian people. Don't be too fixated, because allow the states to be able to do what the states must do, and you focus your attention. John Dramani Mahama must focus his attention on the Ghanaian people, what the Ghanaian people voted for him to come and do. I don't see any program. The threat of Galamsey is on the rise, and I keep telling you that the Galamsey people run shifts. Every now and then, they run shifts. The threat of the fact that they are using maybe state resources or some financial means to be able to oil their party machinery. Mustafa Bandi has stated that their party receives 20,000 Ghana cedis every single month. And so really, you see, if you look at the threats that are against us, it's far more than the allegations that they want to bewield. Look, our forests are not safe. We can't have cassava to eat, cocoyam to eat, contomere to eat. The water bodies are destroyed massively. When you look at all of these things, and you want to be able to have a liking scale of a country that is developing, I think that you would focus your energies somewhere else. Of course, no one is running away from accountability, and I've said that. All the people that are in court, they are having their own day of defending themselves. And we will look to see, because this has been the narrative of an NDC-led government. 2009, they victimized people in President Kufuor's government. 2010, they continued. 2011, they continued. And really, for me, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of the fact that
the major things that the government must focus on, creating jobs. The high level of unemployment still continues to raise head. The government is not creating jobs for the Ghanaian people. Labor Union has told us that 500,000 young people join the labor market every single year. This year, 500,000 people went to senior high school. My university, UPSA, is going to be graduating more students. What is the government's plan to create jobs? We don't see that. And that's important. President Mahama has got 3 more years to end this government. What has he done? We don't see it. And that's troubling. The country is not safe. Our security is at its lowest. Ms. Bao, I should be worried as a Ghanaian. I should be worried that allow the state agency, the role of the Attorney General, allow them to do what they have to do. And you focus on the governance process. Will the governance vehicle, in a manner in which the Ghanaian people can follow you and see that you are looking back? When Mahama leaves government, he needs to look back and be proud of what he has done.
Maybe that's why he's in the Savannah region, cut and sword for the big push. We just mentioned it. The road, solar, just Bole, that road to move, you understand? Big push project. In the next 2 years, they say it's going to be complete. And they cut one just recently in the Volta region, linking the Volta region, the eastern corridor part of the country. He's undertaking his big push project. This was part of his promise, and he's doing that. He's attending to the needs of the Ghanaian people, as he promised.
You know, Ms. Bao, roads are good. It aids with development. It allows everyone to be able to know that, of course, your country is developing. Roads do not create sustainable jobs. I've stated that the job opportunities in Malta are more than the people in Malta. If I stop working, suppose I work at multimedia, I stop working at 7:15, I will get a new job by 7:30 if I'm in Malta. We live in a country where there are less opportunities for graduates, less opportunities for people who want to work. There's not a single day that I do not meet first degree holders, master's holders, PhD holders who are unemployed, who don't have jobs. You need to focus your attention there.
All right, let me bring Council in. Council, you've been jotting a few things down. What do you have there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
What kind of commentary is Palgrave giving us this morning? What does he say?
Oh, what's your problem?
That what? That what? Jobs. They haven't created jobs. When they were in power, what did they tell us? How many jobs did he say they are created? Tons and tons of jobs. So what is he saying? That government should create. You created the tons of jobs, didn't they?
But they also promised that they will come and create jobs.
Did they?
No, but this government promised they will create jobs.
Did they create the jobs? Where's the money?
The money to create jobs?
Where's the money? Ask them, where's the money? Did they not leave a gaping hole in our economy? You're a journalist. Did they not? And even took people's money just to sustain the economy. So what are they talking about?
They say that's why they voted.
What are they talking? That is why they voted them out. You see, this bit where they're talking about witch hunt, they shouldn't direct their anger to government. They should pacify Ghanaians by their words. Because one of the major things Ghanaians said 2024, we need to prosecute those who have plundered Ghana's money. True or false? Did they not say that? And Ghanaians are waiting for this government to do the needful with those who have plundered money in Ghana. So they want to tell us that when Kenuforiata now comes into the country, they are going to say it's a witch hunt. Is that what they are going to tell us? Is that what they are going to tell us? Come on, let's be real. Let's be real. Palgrave is talking about Galamsey. On this table, some of us, and on other media stations, what have we said? That this Galamsey fight is a national fight. We should all come together and try and fight it. Haven't we said it? Haven't you heard me say it for time immemorial? What did the minority leader say 2 days ago?
I mean, he made the point that political actors have failed the Ghanaian people in the fight against Galamsey, and calling on the political actors
Yes.
to build some consensus.
And he said that we should work together. It's a national issue.
Yes.
So what's he talking about? What is Palgrave talking about? Today, I'm not in favor with Palgrave's talk. He said what? You need governance, you need transparency, accountability, and what else? Were they transparent? Were they accountable? Let's stop this kind of politics that we play. Let's stop it. And let's build the nation and make sure that this nation is going somewhere. Exploration to production, 8 years. Which field did we do? Which field did we do? Were they able to structure Galamsey? People are not going to stop small-scale mining. Did they structure it? They tried, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They tried. They tried to at least community mining project, and they tried to ban small-scale mining for a while. What happened? It's the politics that came in, so they gave up. They should try as much as possible to speak to Ghanaians and stop this political thing that they do. Which hand did they? It's old school. That kind of politics is old school. There are serious things that need to be taken care of in this country. And they act as if they've been out of power for 5 years. Nobody, only 9 months. And you're trying to
We've been out of power 11 months.
And you're trying, whatever the months you've been out of power, you're trying to tell me that some of the things you did that created a challenge for the economy, we are not feeling it today.
But they say if you want to be accountable, then show a certain, non-partisan approach to it. They reference the fact that the government decided to file certain processes in court to free their people in court, and now has decided to target, their former government officials. They say if you truly want to hold people accountable, then the case of freeing your people in court and then turning attention to former government officials. They say, well, you just want to witch hunt us. That's why you're doing that.
You are a journalist, aren't you? Are you telling me that being a journalist and listening to some of the things that happened with Wontumi, the Ghanaian people wouldn't want to hear and make sure that, if for nothing at all, his case is heard in court? The Ghanaian people wouldn't?
Of course they want.
So what are they talking about?
Well, they say they also want to see the government pursue the case relative to, say, Saglemi Housing. And what happened there? They say, why did you just...
What did they pursue on Saglemi Housing themselves?
But they had certain government officials.
What did they do it? What did they pursue there? Tell me some of the things that they pursued that threw NDC people into jail or found them guilty.
There was a matter on Saglemi Housing in court, and when the government came, they decided to file the prosecution on it. The former minister, Collins Dada was also, in court for that, and the process was removed from court.
What reasons did the NDC give? You tell me, what reasons did they give?
I mean, it had to do with evidence and the process that, Isn't that also politics?
Evidence is the key to everything. Evidence is the key to everything. I'm not saying the people they are charging are guilty. They are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Let's go to the court of law and they should stop standing on soapboxes shouting. You won't help them in any way. The NPP have been brought down to their knees. They need to build themselves back. Because what? They are the opposition party. They are in parliament. If they want to make an impact in the 2028 elections, they need to be able to convince Ghanaians. Because, what happened in Nana Addo's, President Akufo-Addo's term is still on the minds of people. For the first time, we could not pay our debts. You're a young man, growing up. Did you hear Ghana never paid its debts? For the first time, where people got some solace from investing in government bonds. What happened? Have people not died from that action? The person who created it, where is he? Where is he? Let Palgrave answer that. Where is the person that created it, that has created these challenges? At the time that Ghanaians were saying, look, let's go to the IMF quick, let's go. What were they telling us? We are a proud nation. A lot of the things they did, we are suffering it today. So if President Mahama has come and he's trying his possible best to straighten things, they should give him time. In fact, if they are going to talk, they should talk 2027, 2028, and let's see whether President Mahama has been able to achieve the promises he gave.
You're saying until 2021. Everybody should keep quiet until 2027.
What are they talking about? How long has President Mahama been in power? How long does it take for things to turn around? With the kind of economy, when you're talking, I was quiet.
I'm sorry.
With the kind of economy that they came to inherit.
But you know that would be strange if you're asking the NPP to be quiet.
I'm not saying they should be quiet. Some of the things they are saying does not make sense because they were there and they know.
But you know, are you
trying to tell me that they don't know what it means to govern? Are you trying to tell me? And they're talking about political witch hunting. Political witch hunting of who? Political witch hunting of who?
They're officials. They're from government officials.
Did they do wrong in the eyes of Ghanaians? It is not the NDC who vote. Yes, the NDC are Ghanaians. It's Ghanaians who vote. You should make sure that Ghanaians can accept you back.
Okay. Let me come back to Council. You've also been noting a few things down. He said, look, you should focus on providing the jobs. The 1 job, 3 shifts. Instead of, you know...
Just a minute. Just a minute. What did Palgrave say about roads?
Well, he said the
roads are key to development.
I said the same thing.
Without roads, forget it.
I said the same thing.
You acted as if the roads weren't important.
I said the same thing. I said roads are for development.
What did they tell us? What did they tell us? I said the same thing. What did they tell us?
I said roads are for development.
What did they tell us when they were in power? They had what? Done how many quantum of roads?
Kwame Jantuah.
Do we see it?
Kwame Jantuah.
Please,
Council, let me continue.
Concentrate on your party and stop what you're doing.
Kwame Jantuah.
I think you see, if nothing at all, Ghanaians have been asked what their impressions have been so far regarding this new administration. And an overwhelming 70+% of Ghanaians have agreed that the country is headed in the right direction. Now, if you talk about jobs, creation of jobs is something this government will not take lightly. In fact, we've all seen, in fact, I'm proud because in my constituency, for the first time, we have seen a good number of our youth being pulled into these youth models, YE models.
Okay.
You understand? To the extent that we have 12,000 who have gone into, not just in the constituency, but I mean nationally, 12,000 who have gone into the police, 5,000 fire, 3,000 are being considered for the Arabic teaching model, another 5,000 are being considered for prison, and a lot of other models being worked on.
But you know the number of people unemployed is so huge.
We are thinking about 4,000 just for military.
Yeah, but you know 4,000 is not enough. Because the last time...
It is gradual.
Yeah, you know, the Interior Minister, I just want to mention, the Interior Minister mentioned that, in fact, before they opened the portal for recruitment into security services, he said they had space for just about 10 to 15,000 people. However, on his desk, he had an excess of 50,000 requests.
That one will always be the case.
So you understand how much of a drop in the ocean the job...
It's not all those 50,000 plus people who qualify. Obviously, if you are talking about those who qualify, you have to come down to...
But there are 50,000 people who need job.
Even more. It can even be. It should even be more.
Yes.
You understand? For jobs, at all times, people need jobs. That is why you must have a government who is seen to be providing the jobs. And so, to the extent that within these last few months, the government has put in place these measures and is taking people. And you see, if you look at NPP and the issue of Galamsey, look, how can a government that means well for Ghanaians? 6 days from January 1 to January 6, when NPP was leaving office. Do you know that they issued 102 mining licenses within 6 days? In fact, to the extent that on a day like January 1, which was supposed to be a public holiday, they issued 67 mining licenses. public holiday. January 2nd, 2025, they issued 11 mining licenses, and so on and so forth. So you ask yourself, this is a government, in fact, you started the whole mess. Yes, Ghanaians has always been with us, but Ghanaians assume the proportion it has now because of this ally that was introduced to allow mining in forest reserves. And who brought that? NPP. And so, for the NDC government that we have today, it is only starting to clean the mess. And some of the mess you will claim will include getting you into jail. Let Ghanaians know that this is not how. In fact, look, the biggest legacy we can leave to Ghanaians is to let them know that if any politician comes into office and loots, he will not be spared. We don't have to be doing wash my back, I wash your back. We came on the back of serious corruption campaign. In fact, corruption was key at the last elections. And so we will be seen to have failed if we even met all. Look, today as we speak, inflation has hit an all-time low of 8%. 8 digit.
Yeah.
You understand? A single digit, 8. We took it from 24 plus when they were leaving office. In fact, they had even taken it to 54. We took it from them in January 2025. When it was 24, we brought it to 8. 10 months consistent downward trend. Forex, the cedi has strengthened and has been rated as the best performing currency for the last 8 or so months in sub-Saharan Africa. So when it comes to the economic management, the NPP is the worst we've seen, even with their so-called solid economic management. To the extent that today, we have all seen Bawumia going around to campaign. You don't see Bawumia campaigning on his achievements or on the achievement of his so-called solid economic management team. Even with the cedi not being managed by any so-called solid economy, the city is doing far better than it has ever experienced.
But you know, what they cite as the reason for that sharp decline, spike in the city. They cite what happened in 2020, what happened also.
What happened?
I mean, the pandemic, and it was all over the world in terms of the impact on currencies all over the world, and also the conflict that happened. He said that period saw a very sharp spike in inflation and even in forex.
So before,
it was a global phenomenon.
Before the pandemic came in 2020, you understand, they took it to 2020 before the pandemic struck. You understand? After the pandemic, we had it even performing worse in 2022, 2 years after the pandemic. In fact, the pandemic did not hit only Ghana. Compared with other even neighboring countries, the city was worse. It had been rated by all the rating agencies as, in fact, the economy was basically rated as junk. The city was in the weakest form.
I mean, they talk about the pandemic. Right after the pandemic, there was the war.
Before the pandemic, the city has shrunk too low. You understand? And see, we have a situation where, if you say, Palgrave made a point that he has not seen a single achievement. You were bringing his attention to the no fee stress. This is something that has touched the lives of a lot of people. We have also seen the recent launch of the free tertiary education for people with disability.
Yeah.
It has been launched. So anybody, all those people, they are in thousands, tens of thousands. They all have access to free tertiary education as we speak. Sanitary pads have been provided for school children. These are policies that are impacting a lot of lives. And so if we are coming after the past government officials, it is only because we made that promise. And let me tell you, President Mahama has said that at Cabinet, they have a dashboard that shows the promises they've made to Ghanaians. And at all times, they are going to stick to that dashboard. And key amongst them is to prosecute former government officials. And so what is happening now is just the start.
Are you not putting pressure on yourself, continuously saying, well, we are going to get them in jail? Because the point is that, especially when you know that getting them in jail does not lie in your hands, lie in the court.
Oh, yes, because we believe in the strength of our evidence. And so sometimes when I see people even say that we are already pronouncing people guilty before, yes, Article 19 comes to say that we should not pronounce people guilty. But you see, as a prosecutor, if you don't believe in the efficacy of your evidence, then you have failed. If I say a prosecutor, like the Attorney General, if I see that Jantuah come to the public and mount a podium and is able to speak to the efficacy of his evidence, then it tells me that he believes in what he's doing. He's not shying away. He's not that Attorney General who will hide and call a witness and want to tutor the witness to present his evidence in a skewed manner just to help him to secure a conviction. No. He is one who will come and tell you that this is what I have uncovered. This is what I'm presenting to court. And everybody seeing what he has presented will tell you that, no, this is somebody who has really done a good job. And I have always told Ghanaians that, please, let's be patient. You see, Ora, I've said it before, Ora, those who came out with the whole Ora evidence, none was an investigator. And so you don't expect everything that is captured in Ora to land in court. No.
That was the basis of the expectation, that was put in the minds of Ghanaians. It was based on that. When the presentation was done at the Jubilee House, we were told in excess of 21 billion will be retrieved.
But you see,
that's where the expectation was based.
So it's genuine, it's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair for the public, but it also behoves on us, as people who understand some of these processes, to let them know that, look, not every wrong is a crime. To me, Oral was looking for wrongs rather than crimes. And so if the Attorney General takes the oral docket, or if you like, the pack of documents, and goes into it, the Attorney General will have the discretion to tell whether this can amount to an offense, and that whether it can be successfully prosecuted in court. There are a lot of such wrongs which can remain as moral wrong things, but they cannot be substantiated in court. And so we should not rush into taking everything. That is why I like the Attorney General, because I've always said that whatever was presented to the Attorney General will have to still be investigated. Each evidence has to be investigated. Because remember, no member of the oral team will be brought to court to speak to the evidence they have brought. Yeah. Because remember, even the oral team members were not more like, they are like mere hearsayers. They got the evidence from other sources. Yeah. And so if the matter came from this source, it is those who are directly connected to that matter who will be brought to court.
So someone is wondering, why don't you learn lessons from how the oral committee worked? Because their work heightened the expectations as far as accountability is concerned. And now we are told, well, in fact, the Deputy Attorney General indicated that, well, not all the evidence or not all the report from oral can actually even go to court. Now you are in court. Why don't you also learn lessons from that? Just stick to the fact that, yes, let's go to court. Let's work on it. The court will finally decide. Instead of this, we'll put them in jail, And at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen,
do you know that as a result of the oral work, about 80 former government officials have been invited for investigations. A number of them appeared, granted bail secretly.
They said they will retrieve 21 billion. Their Deputy Attorney General says that was too excessive and it's not realistic.
So we should be listening to the Attorney General because he has to prosecute the matter.
In the same manner, maybe why don't you just be measured? Instead of saying we'll put them in jail, if they don't end up in jail, your words will come back biting.
You see, the Attorney General, if the Attorney General comes today to say that we'll put them in jail, it means that he's saying it based on the evidence he has. Right. That is why, based on the same evidence he has, he can tell you that the 21 billion was excessive. He's speaking to evidence. So if you can trust that he's saying that we cannot get all the 21 billion as said by Ora, if you can trust him on that, then you should equally trust him when he says that we'll put people in jail. Because he's speaking to something in fact, they say when a blind man says he'll throw his stool, he's possibly stepping on one.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. Let me bring Doc in. Doc, I mean, you've been listening to him closely. Your point about job, he says they are working on it. They've started providing job for some people, and they're also working to provide more for other people. And while they are providing the job, they'll also be holding your former government officials accountable. They will do it hand in hand.
The Attorney General is not a judge. The Attorney General does not sit in court as a judge to listen to cases and to write a verdict and write a judgment. So if you say that you put people in court based on your evidence, you are not a judge. You must go to court, follow the due processes. Okay? But I was surprised this morning at my uncle, Kwame Jantuah. I don't know why Kwame Jantuah is doing that.
Doing what?
You know.
But what did he do? You found surprising.
Doing what?
So you see, you know, Kwame
Doing what?
Kwame is an interesting uncle of mine. You know, Kwame is an interesting uncle of mine. When your uncle is being mischievous,
That's the mischief.
you know, you want to remind him a little bit, okay? Because history must guide us. And when history guides us, it tells us that victimization, attacking people, politicians, public officials, not handling them credibly in the public domain comes to bite us back. Jantuah has lived through all the political dispensation. His government, CPP, was the first government of this country. But, I mean, obviously...
They're not talking CPP here.
You see?
You are the ones who are
you see?
in power.
You see?
No, but what
A lot of people didn't come and meet CPP.
Yeah.
He didn't come and meet CPP. They are talking of today.
Jantuah has the moral strength, okay, to say that we're not talking about CPP today. But he doesn't want to use that same moral strength to say that we're not talking about NPP today.
Why?
We're talking
You in
about
power.
the NDC
You're in
government.
power. You've been in power.
The government of the NPP
We haven't
that
been in
was
power for
led
30 years.
by former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo made significant strides for this country that the Ghanaian people can never forget about it. Our contribution to this Fourth Republic is one that the Ghanaian people cannot forget about. The contributions of President John Agyekum Kufuor, free maternal health, NHIS. NHIS is crippling now under the NDC government. That's true. I've followed the news, I've folled the data. It's crippling now.
why is
Where's
it?
the data?
They
Show
are
us
not.
the data.
They are not able. People
Show
are
us
not
the data.
people. I mean, I don't know why Kwame is doing this.
You said you shouldn't see the data. Show it to us.
I don't know why.
Evidence.
I don't know. I don't know why CPP Kwame is heckling NPP.
I'm not heckling.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh, Kwame, don't do this. Don't do
what? Show the evidence. You said you've got data. Show it. Show the evidence.
Kwame is heckling me. See, I'll tell you something, Ms. Bao. The people that use NHIS today, when they go to the hospitals, NHIS does not cover the basic things that it must cover. And it's true. They are complaining. Your network even did a conversation around it, and I followed it. So the governments of the New Patriotic Party, from John Agyekum Kufuor to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has progressed this country a lot more than we have seen in governments of this Fourth Republic. And it is not wrong for us to ask that this government continues to create jobs. If we ask that the government should create jobs, and my uncle Kwame Jantuah says that, what did you do when you were in government with creating jobs? Of course, our government created an enabling environment for private sector to strive. It was the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo that brought one district, one factory.
So please, where
that
is that
created
today?
jobs.
Where is it today?
It is the government
Where is
of
it
John
today?
Dramani Mahama NDC-led government
Where is
that
it
has
today?
scrapped the one district, one factory that created jobs. I'm surprised that Kwame Jantuah of the CPP today says that his government has not been in office for well over 30 years.
You can't compare what we did when we were in power to what your Akufo-Addo did.
No, you see.
Don't even bring President Kufuor in.
You see. Let's be real here. We are politicians for a reason, okay? To be able to move this country forward. That is what the Ghanaian people have decided.
How forward did you move it?
That is what the Ghanaian people have
How
decided.
forward did you move it?
Kwame is heckling again. CPP Kwame is heckling NPP Boakye-Danquah this morning. I don't know why. When his government has not been in office. Well over
I'm a
30
Ghanaian.
years.
I'm a Ghanaian.
A Ghanaian.
I have interest.
Yes, Kwame has interest.
Yes.
Interest in John Dramani Mahama NDC-led government.
No, I have interest in making sure that this country is built well.
Of course, it is the collective. It is the collective interest of all of us.
Did you do collective interest when you empower?
It is the collective interest of all of us.
Did you do collective interest?
Did you do collective advocacy when we were in power?
Of course.
That's the question we should ask.
Please.
So
you didn't give us the chance to do it.
Kwame.
You didn't.
Kwame, allow me.
You didn't.
Kwame, allow me. Kwame, allow me.
You didn't.
Kwame, Kwame.
You had the country in your hands.
Kwame, don't do that.
2017, we had the country in your hands.
2017, we had a single-digit inflation.
And what happened?
We had a single-digit inflation.
And what happened?
I am scared for this country. Do you know why I'm scared for this country?
Why are you scared for this country?
I'm scared. Allow me, Kwame.
Why are you scared for this country?
Allow me. Kwame is my uncle. He's my senior from Adesado College. CPP Kwame. Now, is talking. Kwame is doing a lot more advocacy now. I see where Kwame's alignment is.
It's not an alignment. Okay. It is Ghana. Okay. I'm talking about Ghana.
Of course, we are. I'm not talking about Ghana.
You had the country in your hands.
No one is more Ghanaian than any of us.
Let him make the point. Why are you afraid for Ghana? You made the point.
See, people are praising that the economy is good. Of course, I give praises to that as well.
Do you agree?
Oh, but we turned the corner and handed it over to you.
What corner?
That's the truth. We turned the corner and handed it over to you.
Which of the corners?
But you see, Kwame will not allow me this morning.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Good people are saying.
I don't know why.
The results of the elections tell you.
And Fatal.
The results of the elections tell you that you weren't able to turn the corner.
I like your mistake. When it's good here, people are saying it. It's not you.
You see.
So why did they kick you out of power? Why did Ghanaians kick you out of power?
Okay, so
if you did so well.
Just let him make the point. So I'll come to you.
I like that bit you were saying. People are saying the economy is good. Let's proceed on that.
Look,
you are saying,
Ms. Bao.
Yeah.
We really need to be careful as a country. People cannot get in and out of this country. Their pockets are dry. I want to see how Atoforsen will be able to sustain the Ghanaian economy, because Jantuah here says we should not talk. Mahama is on honeymoon. It's too early for us to talk. So if we should talk 2027, 2028.
To see whether he's able to achieve.
If we are to wait to 2027, 2028, but look, we cannot go. Do you understand? Yes, we cannot. So we must speak. That is not what our fathers handed over to us.
Speak facts.
Our fathers handed over to us boldness, assertiveness, courage to be able to speak to leadership.
So how did you lose the election?
That is what our fathers handed over to us.
How did you lose the election?
You couldn't speak to Nanado.
Yes, you couldn't speak to Nanado. You couldn't speak to Nanado.
Look, I tell you of a truth, Ms. Bao. If we bring the same proponents of what happened in 2020, 2021 and 2022 into the governance of 2025, Mahama has failed. Now tell you something. With the manner at which our security has fallen so deep, to the extent to which we have 48,000 displaced people in Burkina Faso, that John Dramani Mahama says he's waiting for national security to advise him before he calls for a state of emergency. If COVID-19 had happened under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, I can tell you of a truth, I'm not sure many of us would have survived. And so we don't want to go, like I said, if Jantuah says we should wait till 2027, 2028 before we talk, what about no?
Talk facts.
But really,
not opinion. Talk
facts,
fact, not opinion.
You see?
Yeah, just land for me. And
I want to land well.
Yeah, land well.
Because we don't want any crashes this morning. It appears as though I'm being heckled to the left and the right. Okay? Look,
you crashed the economy before you left.
We didn't crash any Ghanaian economy.
Okay.
And let's be real and let's be factual.
Where was inflation?
When we picked up this Ghanaian economy on 2017, at the backbench of the rejection of the Ghanaian people of the first term of John Dramani Mahama. In this country, it's never happened before. It's never happened where a first term president is asked to go home.
Do you know why President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo said he was putting his presidency on the line to be able to fight illegal mining?
Don't go there.
Allow me to go there.
Don't
because
go
I
there.
want to speak the facts.
He didn't
allow
put
me
his
to go
presidency
there.
on the line.
Allow me to go there.
Do you know what that
Kwame
means?
should allow me to go there.
Do you know what that
because
means?
we'll speak fast this morning.
Do you know what
Kwame
that
should
means?
allow me.
Putting your presidency on the line. Do you know what that means?
Kwame has lived more generations than I have lived. I expect him
And then
really,
Brofo.
as a civic responsibility.
Brofo, you don't understand
as a
English.
civic responsibility, I expect Kwame to rise above the bar in this country.
I said then you don't understand English.
The Galamsey had gotten to its worst. And so, as a concerned president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo from 2017 said he wants to be able to solve this issue.
Did he solve
it? Oh, please. You see,
Did he solve it?
Why is Jantuah?
Mr. Jantuah, just let me, Palgrave, just land for me, sir.
Because you see, Ms. Bao, when we look at the issues that happened from 2017 to 2024, when President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo wrapped up his governance, the good governance that he gave to the Ghanaian people, the level of development, infrastructural development that he gave to the Ghanaian people, okay, the state-of-the-art educational infrastructure that he gave to the Ghanaian people, that has been unprecedented. We have STEM schools in this country. It has never existed. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. We have those schools here, right from the basic level to the higher level. It never existed. We have built more. Look at the airports that we have built. That Canadian Japan says that when he becomes president, he's going to turn the Tamale International Airport 90% of that into cargo. So really, let's look at it holistically and not attack anybody.
Okay.
We are asking for the government of the day to be able to focus on its governance. Will the governance process create jobs, create an enabling environment for all of us to feel safe? Security is at its low. We've called on the president. Look, Atufo has missed parliamentary sitting. His colleague is here, ask him. He's overwhelmed with the Ghanaian economy. You cannot give him a caretaker ministry of defense to take care of. We've asked the president to give us a minister for defense. Should that not be a concern for the Ghanaian people? Should that not be a concern for the sub-region of West Africa when we are surrounded by countries that are under terror attack? We are surrounded by countries that are military juntas. We have citizens, Ghanaian democratic citizens, who are in Burkina Faso as refugees. Is that what we left for the government? So when we are speaking the facts, allow us to speak the facts.
Okay, let me bring
Ms.
Council in.
Let me ask Palgrave one question. How did you lose the 2024 election of all the things he said? Why did you lose?
I would ask.
Why did you lose?
I would ask Jantuah one question.
And why did you wait? No, answer
Why
my
has
question.
CPP deteriorated to this level?
Forget CPP.
Oh, we should forget
we
CPP.
haven't been in power for 30 years.
So CPP is no more a political party.
Listen, you even lost your majority in parliament. If for nothing at all, presidency, you understand. You lost your majority in parliament.
It is not something that has not happened before.
This level.
It is not something that has not happened before.
This little pinchomic opposition, please, face facts. And that is what I'm saying. Face facts, not opinions. Look at how many parliamentarians does NPP have in parliament? How many?
There are 87 now.
How many does NDC have in parliament?
Quite a lot of them.
What is that called? Super majority.
And you are proud of that?
And if you did, wait, listen
as
to me.
As a Democrat,
I said, listen,
you are proud of that?
Listen to me.
In 1996, how many parliamentarians did the NPP have?
Wait, Palgrave.
Did President Kufuor not win the 2000 election with an overwhelming majority in parliament?
Palgrave, let me
let's take it case by case.
Wait, if you did things right, you wouldn't have this kind of majority, this kind of minority in parliament. If you did things right, you would have more people in parliament. Because you didn't do things right, the people of Ghana told you we weren't satisfied with your mamu, and you should go back to President Akufo-Addo and question him why it is that you lost the election this way.
But they say it's a new government. 11 months past Akufo-Addo's government. Why are you still obsessed with what happened?
Yeah. You think you should ask Jantuah how many CPP MPs are in parliament?
Listen, you think Ghanaians are
CPP MPs? How many do we have in parliament?
Listen, do you think Ghanaians are happy with the kind of minority numbers we have? You think Ghanaians are happy?
But shouldn't the focus be on the government?
The
on
focus
delivering
should be,
the promises they gave the people of Ghana?
The focus should be on a strong opposition that can hold government responsible.
Of course,
can they hold government?
Of course, we can hold government.
And they come and
when they are asking us to keep quiet and start talking 2027.
Listen, they come and give. They come and
we
give.
will hold this
they come and give this
responsible.
soapbox statement that witch hunting. Do the right thing.
If the government is witch hunting, should we not say it? You are undermining.
Are they witch
you are undermining.
Are they witch hunting?
He's undermining the governance process of this country.
Is government witch hunting?
Jantuah is undermining the governance process of this country.
Stop the politics.
Look, the fact that NDC has a majority in parliament does not mean that the minority in parliament does not have a voice. The minority, of course, they can. Of course, so we should leave parliament. You see what Jantuah is doing?
What can they change?
You see what Jantuah is doing?
What can the
a senior citizen whose government was in power. Whose government was in power? His government did this country.
Gentlemen,
today he says that minority cannot change anything.
Can you change with your numbers?
That is the proposal Jantuah is saying.
With your numbers.
So Jantuah is saying that with our numbers,
all right,
the NPP should have a walkover.
Your numbers.
CPP has not even one person in parliament.
I'm going to do
with your numbers.
One person they don't have in parliament.
With your numbers.
So with our numbers, you see, Ms. Bao, let's settle.
What can your numbers do?
Look, Ms. Bao,
if NDC come right now, I'm on the floor. You went on the floor.
Let's settle the issue. Look, the proposal you are giving is dangerous for democracy. And we should not sit here to allow that.
That's what?
The proposal Jantuah is giving.
That's what?
It's dangerous for democracy.
Please.
All right.
That the minority that we have cannot be involved in the democratic process.
That is not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. That is your thought.
He said
that is your thought.
That
is your thought. That's what words in your mouth. That is your thought.
That's what he's saying.
That is your thought.
Let him clarify. Let him clarify the point he's making.
The minority in parliament cannot change things.
What do you mean by that?
With the kind of majority we have, if government wants to push, they would push with their
But that has always happened.
Didn't they do it?
When the majority in parliament always get it done.
Listen, Ms. Powell, listen to me. If they did things right, this kind of super majority that the NDC have, they might not have had it. If they did things right. And that is what Palgrave is failing to understand.
You see what
if they did things right.
But the point is that, again, fundamentally, the point is that, yes, that has happened. The people of Ghana were not happy with them. And what they are saying is that, well, the focus should be on the government. The people of Ghana are looking up to the government. For instance, just yesterday we were talking about farmers who have harvested maize and they say there's no sales. They don't have people buying it. And at CMB just here, we went there and we understand even cassavas are rotten. People are not buying the cassava. It's in abundance. People are not buying.
Why?
And the question people are asking is that if the economy is in the best shape, why are people not buying it?
Look, are you trying to tell me that this economy would turn around in 11 months from what they left us? Is that what you're telling me?
State. I mean, inflation is at 8%.
Well,
that's good.
What were
the Forex is...
Where was inflation when they were leaving?
So the point is that inflation has improved. Exchange rate has improved.
Yes, gradual.
Yeah, the people are saying they can find the money to buy things.
I said gradually. It will turn around. In their time, what happened? Where was agriculture in their time? Have you read the statement by, the young youth of the NPP, where Brian Champon is concerned, and what they think he did that didn't help agriculture? Have you read it? Their own people. Have you read it?
So what do you think the posture of Ghanaians should be?
Let me tell you.
What do you think the posture of Ghanaians should be about this government?
They should
11 months into it.
They should hold this government responsible for everything that they do. But I can tell you, at this point, when you compare the two, John Mahama is better than what these people left.
It's not true. John Mahama can never be better than
better.
All right.
John Mahama can never be better than
okay, we are going to do a few messages now. We understand we've received quite a number of them. We're going to do a few messages.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
But rice, as I speak to you today, is about 61% more expensive than it was in 2024. Rice.
Did you not open the floodgates?
Plantain.
For importers to bring rice.
But where is that information coming from?
Oh, which rice are you talking about? Your own data. Is available. Okay.
Your own data.
The BOD.
Tell us the source.
You see why when I am speaking, tell us the source. When I am speaking CPP.
Read.
All right, let me read a few of the messages.
But Ms. Bao.
Yeah.
Read the what you call it.
Issues very well. Okay. If President Jantuah had not willed this governance process to the stage that we find ourselves in, we will not be enjoying.
How did you lose the election?
All right, let me read a few messages.
How did you lose the election?
Yeah.
He talks about 11 months in government.
How did you lose the election? If everything was right, how did you lose the election?
Look,
how did you lose?
Look, you talk about election.
How do you lose?
All right, let me read some messages for you. There's a few messages coming for you. You say, good morning. I'm Eben from Kwabenya. Okay.
Ms. Ba,
this OSP is talking too much. He should go ahead and prosecute if he thinks they have done any wrong. It said, A, witch or wizard must be hunted. So if the General Secretary of the NPP thinks they are one, then complaining, why they complain they are being hunted? They better keep quiet to be hunted, period, he says. This one also, I think, has been, okay, he says, good morning, and your panelists. I'm Big Alasko from Garu, and my greetings to all the youth in Timpani. He says, my condolences to immigration who lost his life protecting our borderlands, and I also wish the one who is on admission at the regional hospital a speedy recovery. Then he asks, please, can we now confirm or agree that former President Nana was into illegal mining? He's asking this because Nana was defending and countermining that they are not into illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. The general manager is now confirming otherwise. A, Ghana and the Nanado and NPP, never again, he says. Master Planner says, Ghanaians are watching the NDC closely. The media trials and selective justice is so appalling. The same crime committed by NPP members will be handled differently against a member of the NDC. It is troubling for our judicial system and democracy. Let's give time some time, he says. Then Meshach Asante says, in fact, I more than 100% agree with Honorable Kwame A+ for writing a petition to Speaker to remove Honorable Abena Osei-Asare from the Public Accounts Committee because she doesn't deserve to be on that committee at all. She was deeply involved in the mess created by the Nana Bawumia and Ken Ofori-Atta administration. Okay, your point has been made. Good morning. To effectively combat corruption in Ghana, the media must prioritize investigative journalism, ensure impartial reporting, and provide platforms for civic education. Okay, that point has also been made. Abdul Ganiu from Savannah region says, from the way things are going, I believe the Attorney General should investigate the Office of the Special Prosecutor itself. The office has become, to Ghana and a waste of taxpayers' money. It might even be better to scrap it completely. I also heard my brother, the MP for Yendi, saying that the bail conditions they impose on NPP leaders are meant to prevent them from running away. But if NPP returns to power, those same bail conditions will be applied to NDC leaders. And this time, they'll make sure to bring a fresh dead body before granting bail. Well, I'm not sure that's how bail works. Now, he says, good morning. Dr. Palgrave is sounding confused, you say. He asks, what is he saying? They continue to provoke us anytime they speak. And he says, they should give us a break. Good morning, he says. Please ask Nana Kwame Jantuah to tell us what his government has done that has positively affected Ghanaians since assuming office. He's always bastardizing the NPP, but offer no solution to our problems. He should understand that the NPP is far better than the NDC he loves so much when it comes to governance and policy implementations. Interesting.
I'm not an NDC member.
He says one of our major, Mr. Jantuah said he's not an NDC member. One of our major problems in this country is this Kwame. Oh, really? Why are you saying that? He said, no, this is a bit too harsh. You can make your point without being too harsh. Be civil. Now, I don't understand why he said you always bring two NDC people against one NPP person. Mr. Jantuah is not an NDC person. Nana Jantuah will always mention Akufo-Addo in his submission, even when he's not in power anymore. I believe even in his grave, he will mention his name. And he says, what kind of hatred? I'm not sure he hates...
my good friend.
He says that Akufo-Addo, in fact, is his good friend. Mr. Host, it's at times when you repeat the narrations of the politicians, well, hey, me, interesting. It's like, can you ask the NPP who are complaining now why they didn't prosecute the officials who committed the alleged wrong when they were in power? Why didn't the Attorney General then prosecute his own appointees? Let the current officials also know that if the Attorney General does not prosecute them for any wrong, they will commit, any new government will prosecute them. Okay, this one says, I want to believe the beauty of Parliament as we see today will reflect the work they do this time round, where we will see maturity, professionalism, and law for country at play. Okay, well, Wow, quite a lot of them, isn't it? Quite a lot of them. Interesting. Wow. Anyway, this one is, I hear people say there are no jobs. On your show this morning, you're talking about bumper harvest and food rotten. These are job opportunities the youth must take advantage of. We are complaining, yet opportunity abound. Patrick, interesting. Anyway, quite a lot of your messages. We've read some, and thank you for sending them. Well, Honourable, yeah, I think Mr. Jantuah and Palgrave spoke a lot, and you are quite monitoring them. So let me give you the final words, then we can go.
Thank you so much. I think I'm even surprised that Palgrave is today defending the very government that his flag bearer would always, at the least opportunity, attack. Because today, if you take some of the flag bearers and some of the candidates, I think flag bearer, the candidate, his candidate. If you take the leading candidates of the NPP flag bearership race, Brian Achampo, Kennedy Agyapong, almost all of them, something surprising is happening. Look, when NPP lost power in 2008, if you look at how they campaigned on the successes and the achievements of Kufuor administration. Today, you find people who are vying to lead the NPP into the next elections, all trying to
stay away.
I don't know what I want to use. They are all talking down on what had happened under Nanado.
That's the impression you're getting.
Even Bawumia, who was part of it, today he's even trying to take himself out of the whole mess.
Really?
Even Bawumia, yes. In some of the decisions, he even said he was not even consulted and other things. So if you look at it, there is a general consensus across that there was a mess. Recently, I watched a video of Senyor Hossi. Senyor Hossi said on live TV that he doesn't even want to see the picture of Nanado again. You can mention the name. The name, maybe he can't stop you from, but don't show him the picture. Look, things were so bad. And so, I am surprised. And your candidate, Ken, is of the strongest opinion that the NPP they saw under Nanado was not the NPP they voted for. And they had spent their lives in the past years toiling for NPP. But what Nanado left them is something they can't even be proud of as NPP members. And same to the other leading candidates. And so I'm surprised. You are now shifting to it is possible. I know you are connected.
Yeah, so the point is that...
You understand? And so the mess is universally agreed. You understand?
He's connected.
When you get a government like the NDC government, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama government, which is trying to clean the mess, the least we expect of the NPP is for them to at least give the president some space. Because it has to now take the country from that.
But you have just 4 years. I mean,
we do.
Now you're left.
We do, and with what we have started
3
with
years now.
If you look at what we have started with, there's no doubt. In fact, there's no doubt that. Look, and we are telling Ghanaians that the creation of jobs, there should be no issues about it. What we have seen so far, in terms of the jobs that have been created, what we have seen so far, we have not even started.
Will we see the 1 job, 3 shifts?
We are the 24-hour economy, and we've told Ghanaians that it's not like the 1G1F that were promised, where government will sink money.
So the 1 job, 3 shifts will happen?
It will happen, the 24-hour economy, but it's going to be private sector-led.
Ms. Brown, I think that it's unfair for anyone to say that there was a mess in the government of President Jantuah.
Then you have to attack it.
Free Senior High School was not a mess. 1 district
then you have to attack
was not a mess. 300 ambulances was not a mess. Agenda 111 was not a mess.
Do you have one hospital on Agenda 111?
Roads was not a mess. So, I mean, I think that, you see, if you do this, you are being dishonest with our politics and dishonest with our democracy.
All right,
no, I think so. And it's important that you don't have to do this, okay? Because for us to be able to win the 2028 general election, of course, we will campaign on the legacies of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and President John Ajay Kufuor. These two pioneering legacies are legacies that cannot be out. I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, let's see how it all works out. It's 11 months of the John Mahama administration. We'll keep following it closely. We'll see how things unfold. And hopefully, with God giving us life, we'll be here to see it all. And 2028 will be here. And of course, the Ghanaian people will give their judgment on it. Lawyer Kwame Jantuah, thank you very much for coming and wish you the best. Of course, you're going to be busy at GNPC. We hope it works out.
The government has employed him.
I'm working for Ghana.
Yes, Dr. Palgrave also is going to be busy at UPSA and also on the grounds for Ken. And of course, Honorable will also be very busy in Yendi and in Parliament. These days, the Speaker is sending out a